Think we are going live now. So I just want to say hi, everyone, and great to have you here. I'll just give it a couple more minutes as people are still joining. And while we wait, maybe we can just, I can just give you a quick heads up on what we'll be diving into today. We'll be exploring how e-commerce is shifting from keyword-based search to AI-powered agentic discovery, basically, and AI agents that actually understand what shoppers mean, not just what they type. Our guest today is David Barth from Algolia. He works closely with brands and retailers who are rethinking product discovery through AI. And we'll talk about what these new discovery agents really are, how they are different from chatbots and recommenders that we already know of, and why high quality and structured product data is the real foundation for making them work. So we really want this to be an interactive session. So feel free to drop questions in the chat anytime, and then we'll try to answer as much as possible. So now it looks like there are more people joining. We're 2 minutes in, so I think we can officially get started. So I will just say again, hi everyone, and welcome to another session of AI and e-commerce talks. I'm Svetlana. I'm the founder and CEO of Pixyle AI, and I'm so happy that you could join us today. For those new to this webinar series, these talks are all about real conversation with people shaping the future of e-commerce through AI. And today's topic is from keywords to conversations, and is one that I'm really excited about because we're seeing a major shift in how people discover products online. Currently, shoppers aren't just typing product names anymore. They are expressing intent, describing styles, and they're expecting intelligent, almost human like responses because we're all getting so used to ChatGPT and everybody's using our cloud. So I think this is what is being expected in e commerce as well. And I think at the heart of this shift are AI discovery agents, which are tools that understand shopper intent, context, and even tone. But for those agents to actually work well, they need great data. Data that is clean, structured, and written in the language that shoppers actually use. So today we'll be talking about how AI and data come together to transform discovery, personalization, and the overall shopping experience. And I'm thrilled to be joined by, as I said, David Barth from Algolia, who's been at the forefront of innovation in search and discovery for years. So, David, welcome.
Thank
Uh,
you.
and to start us off, can you please tell us a bit about yourself, your role at Algolia, and also how do you see product discovery evolve lately?
Of course, thank you for having me, Svetlana. So my name is David Barth. I'm with Algolia. We're an AI search and discovery platform leader in the market. We serve more than 18,000 customers in the world for a little more than a decade, like 14 years exactly. So as you said, we've been at the forefront of this innovation. And at Algolia, I manage technology partnerships. So it's making sure that we live in an ecosystem and we integrate with that ecosystem with people like you at Pixels and other, of course, to deliver for customers to deliver the best experiences for their shoppers. And I think it's an exciting subject because, as you said, the way we discover product has evolved tremendously in the last couple of years, and it's not because we have changed, it's because the technology has evolved,
Yes.
right? We've always wanted to express things in a way and couldn't because we had to enter keywords, and now we can talk to a machine and it can understand us. So it's very, very exciting, and we see most of our customers having to evolve because of that, and we are supporting them, of course, and very excited to talk about this.
Yes. Well, great to have you, David, here. And well, you are leading technology partnership, and you know so much about technology. Even on the prep session, I was so excited listening to your answers. So I'm pretty sure that it's gonna be great for everyone listening. So before we start I really want to kick off with the big picture, because we are hearing a lot about the shift from traditional keyword based search to more conversational and what is being called agentic discovery. And also, what I'm seeing is that there's a bit of a, if I can say it, panic in the e-commerce industry. Talking with brands and retailers, they are kind of now rethinking, is there a big shift happening? Like, what should we do with all these chat gpt searches and shoppers changing their behavior? Are the marketing funnels becoming different? Is the discovery becoming different? So then I would really love to hear your point of view and what you think about how is the role of search evolving beyond simply matching keywords to actually understanding shoppers intent, and why is this shift so important for fashion e-commerce in particular?
Yeah, and it is a reality, and you are right that some people are panicking, quote unquote. They're not panicking, but they are really seeing that now that we can, we want. Okay, so what's changing enormously, I think, is the idea that before keyword were just matching things. Now AI understands our intent. They
Yeah.
understand what we want, and we can express that in a way. So for fashion, it's really important because fashion is about emotion, about how you
Yeah.
want to express something, and you can see that you'd rather ask a friend and describe what you want than ask a search bar and try to describe in keywords what you want. Right now, it is possible, and so when search gets to that point when it can understand the nuance or it can understand the emotions that you're trying to see, like I'm looking for something Parisian chic, or I'm going to a festival and I need something to wear and I need that the look of that festival, it is obviously very attractive for the brand to be able to respond to that. It's kind of what they want to do anyways, so
Yeah.
now they can. Now what's really important and creates that is they have to be able to own that experience as well. Everybody is going to start to work on ChatGPT today and go maybe start their discovery journey there, but they're going to end up on your website at some point, right? Either out of being driven there by their conversation or by pure loyalty. I'm used to that brand. I want to see what they got. And you can't have your experience being different from what the shopper has started to experience and he or she wants. So you have to effectively move into that logic of conversational experiences and what we call a retrieval powered experiences, which is how do you know your catalog best and how you can make decisions around it.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And as you say, shoppers are now, using ChatGPT or using any other conversational AI agent, and they expect the same experience everywhere, and even coming to the e-commerce store. And probably what we see is that the attention span is going becoming lower and lower, right? So you want, when you explain something for the AI or for the e-commerce store, to very easily understand you. And this is, I think, really resonates with what you say of the search understanding the shopper's intent and giving relevant answers back, which is so so important. There has been, a lot of a lot of tools like chatbots or recommender systems, and yeah, I think people, somebody was using it, but then somebody got you get frustrated from the answers. Or what do you think is different now in these conversational agents than what we had from the chatbots and the recommender systems?
Yeah, and I think it's an important distinction that we need to do and people need to understand. Um, chatbot talks, but it's kind of preordained talks. It's something that has been organized before. A recommendation engine or a recommender suggests things, but a discovery agent reasons. It's capable of understanding language, retrieve information, business context as well, and guide the shopper and have an interaction with the shopper that is not preordained, that is not preset. It is really something that can go anywhere, like you and I having a conversation, right? We've prepped, but it could go somewhere else, and that's okay because we know our subject and we are goal driven. And an agent is goal driven, right?
Yeah.
The agent knows what success is. we've told the agent, you are an agent of my brand, and we need to make uh, we know success is the conversion of that discussion into a purchase, but it needs to be the best possible purchase for the customer or the prospect that I have with us. So our CEO calls it goal-driven, dynamic goal-driven search, and that's what agentic search brings, is to be able to use retrieval augmented segmentation generation, sorry, RAG, which is a technical term, but I'm sorry about that. But it pulls information off your catalog with any external source to get to the goal that it was set up to do, which is get the best, help the customer get to the best choice possible, and therefore act upon it very quickly. And
Yeah.
that's what's really new and very exciting for the industry.
Yeah, uh, yeah, indeed. What I see is actually that the chatbots and the AI agents are on the two specters of extreme. So chatbots are really controlled with what answers and what can be asked, and also what questions can be asked and what answers come back. And on the other side of the spectrum, now you have, the LLMs and the AI agents and the chats that can literally say anything.
Mm.
So, and I know that when we talked about on the prep call, you did mention now the kind of the challenge is how can we even constrain them at least a bit, so that they don't just say whatever, because when somebody comes to your landing page, let's say you're a brand, or that you have loyal customers, and you want those loyal customers to feel good, and you want, as the people in the store sell, you want these conversational AI agents to have the same tone of voice, the same approach to your customers. How do you think we can constrain the LLMs in terms of what they say, how they say it, in what direction it goes? Because you don't want, an AI agent to start giving medical advices when you are selling, for example, fashion, and then get fined for that. Or so. My question is, how can we constrain the AI agents to make them really well fitted for the brands?
So it's twofold. One is the importance of retrieval driven experiences, meaning that first of all, your agent needs to understand that it has to act in the constraint of your catalog. If you're Nike, you don't want the agent to recommend Adidas shoes,
Yeah.
right? It's like a given. So that really helps. And then after that, it's really about training your LLMs and prompting it, and having some boundaries put into it. You are a shopping assistant that can only give shopping advice on the products that we have, and if there is no answer to a question, you have to say there's no answer to the question, or guide the shopper to the relevant expert, or something else. Where that can become interesting is when you have agent to agent shopping experiences that are going to go uh, that are going to start to be happening, uh, and I'm talking about products, right? I don't want to go into the medical advice problem that you mentioned. This is some of a larger problem, but you can imagine that you are a brand, that or a collection of brands, and therefore, even though your main goal as an agent is to sell something in the catalog of the one brand that you're representing, you can tell the agent, if you cannot find the product, go see the catalogs of my other brands, because maybe that's where you can find something that's relevant to the conversation you have. And we have actually built a demo for one of our customers that does exactly that. It's like you're having a conversation and you're searching for shoes, and that's in the catalog very well, but then you're searching for a water bottle that's not in the catalog, but they have a sports brand or sports retailer brand that has that in the catalog. So we authorize the agent to go fetch data or get information into another catalog through the agent to agent communication by interrogating an agent of another brand.
Yeah, yeah, that's amazing. And you did mention that their Algolia is currently working. You mentioned the demo now for a client, so you already have like the first versions of AI discovery agents, and you're testing them. Can you tell us a bit more about that? And also, how do you? You did mention all these constraints. You know, if you're Nike, you don't want to, show Adidas, or it needs to be the constraint within the catalog. Can brands themselves set these constraints? How is it currently done for your AI discovery agents?
So absolutely, the way it works is we integrate with LLMs. The so let me take a step back. Algolia has released, and it's available today, an agent studio, what we call agent studio. It's an agentic framework that allows for our customers to build an agent, prompt it correctly, and so the agent will be connecting to the LLM of the brand. So the brand has to select an LLM, and we recommend that they have a private version of that LLM, so a private
Yeah.
um, contract with OpenAI today or Claude. We can do both. And then we'll prompt the agent to use Algolia indices as retrievals for the catalog. And so you will be able to tell the agent what it needs to do, and how it can retrieve information to further the conversation using the LLM that of your choosing, that you can activate. Today we have those two, and we obviously working on opening up to others, and even private ones that you can bring yourself.
Yeah. Okay. Amazing. And then you did mention that you can connect to the catalog, connect the LLMs to the catalog. May I ask around the importance of the catalog and the product data that the client has?
Yeah.
Uh, because as we know, LLMs can find what is out there. If it's not out there, it cannot find it. And we all know the data is so crucial, and not just data with basic keywords like the color and the category, but really shopper intent attributes and the richness of the data. Can you talk more about how important is the data for these AI discovery agents?
It is, because AI is as smart as the data you feed it. Of course, we start to understand that as a general understanding of how AI works. It's really it's training on data. It understands the things, and so it will also be able to be much more relevant if the data that's in your catalog, or in our case in Algolia indices,
Yeah.
reflects the language of the shopper. So if you're capable of describing things that a shopper will do. And a little example would be, if your catalog describes a shoe as an athletic footwear model, whatever, but your shoppers describe it as a white running sneaker, and that language doesn't exist anywhere, or the relationship of that language to the description of your catalog doesn't exist. It's really complicated for the AI to be relevant. So Algolia, we leverage vector databases, or vector search, or semantic search.
Mhm.
So when you query Algolia, Algolia understands the meaning of the query, and the proximity of meaning that if it will understand that grill is very close to barbecue. It's almost the same thing. It's very close to backyard, because that's really where barbecues happen, but it's far away from socks. But the
Yeah.
more description we have, the easier it's going to be for AI to understand what the conversation is about, what the intent is about, and what is the right response to do that. So you have to enrich. That's what data enrichment is really, really important. And the way we work with you guys at Pixyle is really exciting for that matter. It's you do this really well to be able to add descriptions and language and visual tags and anything out of pictures, and out of to enrich catalogs and indices. It will help this conversation to be even more meaningful. It would be the same in real life, right? If you're talking to somebody who really knows about what you're doing, they will be able to find cues and that shopper language will elevate your data set for agentic search and AI experiences. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, David. And what we always say is that the search is the engine, but you need the data as the fuel, because the engine can only run as well as the fuel that it has. And the richer the data is, the more descriptive your products are, not only with basic keywords, but also with as you say, more semantic or more intent based for the shoppers, or also including trends. What we've seen is like measuring conversion with some of the clients when you put in trendy keywords that also boost conversion quite well, because
Mm,
as we know trends are appearing every day on TikTok and everywhere.
that's
So
right.
people just wanna search for the trends that coming. I do remember one client when it came to us and said, it's great that you had the flare as an attribute, because apparently Beyonce had a shopping video, and then all the flare jackets and flare jeans were sold out in 2 days. So in a way, if you don't have this as a trend, then it won't appear. And as you say, when we this is very important for the keywords. But now when we talk about AI discovery and conversational agents, they also want, of course, very well structured attribute data, but they also want, as you said, good descriptions, right? Like conversational like. So your description needs to be written in a way that the AI agent can read them well and can understand the intent and how where can this item be worn. And of course, frequently asked questions section, because you want to add more and more questions as well to the product detail page that correspond to how the AI discovery agents or ChatGPT will find your products. And the more data, the more description of the product, the more match there will be. And we all know that every shopper has different type of style and different type of intent. So the more you cover with the data, the better. And of course, you build more loyalty and conversion once you provide better personalization. So maybe I can now go to ask more about personalization, and how do you see the role of data, but also the role of discovery agents doing really personal and great shopping experience.
Well, yeah, personalization is clearly an emotional bridge between relevance and loyalty, right? You want people to come back. And that's a big challenge for our brands and customers today, because they're losing control about the part of the discovery process that will happen in the public AI, right? And so there's a big race to be able to transact in ChatGPT and others, and that's all good. Um, that say, I don't believe that people are going to leave the brands and completely avoid going to websites, and so uh, there is also a potential for the brands to hype loyalty
Yeah,
by delivering those experiences. And by that I mean that when you have an experience with a brand that really feels personal, you feel heard, you feel seen, and you probably are going to develop some proximity with the brand that will make you go back and understand, say, okay, that's a brand that I like, and they really have good recommendations for me. They listen to me. They maybe anticipate what I'm doing, and so I want to go back. Whereas in the public AI, okay, great, because I can compare multiple brands, I can do things that I couldn't do before, but I
yeah,
don't have that proximity with something that talks to me, right?
yeah,
And one of the proof that brand loyalty is also a strategic decision that brands are going to make is, if you look at a quadrant where you see the exclusivity of the brand and its interest to public AI, so sharing information with the chat GPTs and others to be discoverable on those platforms, you can see that generally the high-end luxury exclusive brands have no interest in participating in this global AI thing, and they will stop crawler from scraping their data because they don't want to appear on those chat GPT conversations. They want people to come to their brand. And we know that because we have a lot of luxury brands in our customers, and they really are interested in making those experiences on their private properties,
Yeah.
digital properties, and not really exposing their data into the AI public AI world. Sorry, and so it's really about being um, contextually relevant and not invasively relevant, right? It's in the context of your conversation that you're going to find, you're going to be seen and heard, and then develop that proximity. So that's why the personalization that you can have through this is going to be really key. And personalization is about data again, because you are going to know exactly what your shopper wants, the history that they have, and how you can personalize exactly what you're doing there. And it's interesting, you were talking about the importance of data. One of the ways that you're going to see things happen, and we did a demo about that last week, so that's why I'm thinking about it. It's questions like, I want to wear the sunglasses that David Beckham wore last week.
Ah,
And
yeah,
that's a question that one of our customers say, well, we get these questions and we don't know, it's difficult because, and so combining this capacity of an agent to go off on the web and look
yeah,
at pictures and analyze the pictures and recognize the Ray-Ban, whatever he was wearing, and then go into the catalog to figure out if that Ray-Ban exists. And if it doesn't, to be able to recommend something close enough that shopper will probably be interested as well. So all of this, if as a brand you can do that on your private property, you're going to increase the loyalty of the customers, and they're going to be able to say, okay, I don't need to go anywhere else. I can still go back to my favorite brand. If
yeah.
they may go.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And yeah, as you talked about personalization and loyalty with brands, indeed, shoppers that are kind of loyal to a brand, they will want to see the same experiences on ChatGPT. And when they will have that, then basically will come to the brand. So it's really important for the brands to start providing these experiences in order not to lose their shoppers to the public AI searches, because as you said, ChatGPT can recognize, what David Beckham wore last week. But if you also provide that on your own brand site, then it's even better, because then they want to buy from you, right? Not from random brands that they don't even know. So yeah, so that's very, very important. And in order for brands to provide this experience on their website, and to make sure that that their shoppers stay on their website, and they have great experience and great discovery, what do you recommend that brands can do? Because maybe it sounds scary, right? If you're a non-technical person working in a brand, it might sound scary. What is it that they can do in order to start providing these discovery experiences in a, let's say, easy or like straightforward way?
Yes. So there are steps that you can take. Well, first of all, uh, you have to clean your data. I mean, this is important. We're going to repeat that over and over and over again. But we see the customers that are really starting to deliver things in the ecosystem of Algolia, for instance, are customers that have spent some time looking at their data and making sure that it is clean, it is relevant, their product description exists, the way customers would describe them, right? Because often you describe products internally. You have your internal ways to say things, but now it's important to do that. Now, something you can do, and I'm biased because I work for a company, right? It's, for instance, enable AI-powered search, starting to enable semantic search. Uh, because even though your user experience from the way I interact with the website, for instance, is not going to change that much, at least you're going to allow people to start writing sentences instead of keywords.
Yeah.
And we've seen that this is something that people really appreciate. We call it the long tail. It's you can optimize your search for uh, a certain number of request of association of keywords that come back or are used the most, But then there's the long tail of all those sentences or things that are really complicated that you can't do that. By activating semantic search, you will be able to do that. We've seen reduction up to 95% of no answer responses, right? It's like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't find anything for your query. Now we can and then work that way. The second thing is conversational assistance. This is not impossible or very complicated to put in place now. You can execute, you can test. We've seen that. I'm based in France, and we have a couple of customers that didn't wait for us. I mean, they implemented examples of very specifically designed to do something assistance. One was to help you figure out what packaging you need to buy to send something through the post office. The client of Algolia sells packaging, so obviously it's interesting for them. But the assistant was pretty interesting in a sense that it was asking, "What is it you want to do?" "I want to send my laptop through the post office." "What is your laptop? How big is your laptop?" "I don't know. I'm going to look up the dimensions on the website of the manufacturer of the laptop. Is that what it is?" "I think so." "Well, let me look at the requirements of the post office. This is what they need. Here's the recommended packaging that I will sell you for that." It's a very specific assistant, but it works, and it gives that conversational type of experience. Another one was, every year the kid received a list of all the supplies they need to go to school. Well, that assistant allowed you to upload that list, and it would read it and provide a multiple options for you, and you can do your shopping right there and get delivered. So conversational shopping assistants, they're not exactly agents
Yeah.
yet, but they can help, and they can be put in place pretty easily, right? Virtual visual search or visual similarity search
Yeah.
is something that today can be implemented fairly easily, because you have tools now to look at an image and describe what it is. I think a few people that can do that, uh, and that's very very powerful. You can tell, hey, if you want to upload a picture and tell, it's like, can I get something that looks like something on this picture? um, that's something that can be done also as well. And then in the back end, making sure that you activate some smart merchandising tools so that you can tell, uh, uh, you can get the help of AI to make sure that you blend your business objective to the interaction on your website. Like, you've got, if somebody is looking for that brand of jacket, you have them, great, but you also have an overstock of another brand of a jacket. So you want to boost that to, hope that maybe the person who's going to choose the jacket you have more stock of to be able to do this. And that achieves some measurable impact for the brands without having to go full blast and building agents but it will get you to a place where users and shoppers don't see an archaic difference between their experience on ChatGPT and what they do on your website. Right? I think it's important to keep that in mind, is that the comparison you have today is ChatGPT and Claude and all those sites, all those public AIs that are really setting the tone, of what it should be. So get to it.
Yeah, yeah, all those are very exciting developments that brands can use. And you started with make sure you have the basics right, and that's the data. And I see now there's a question coming, and that is from the audience, and that is, how can brands evaluate if their current product data is AI ready? So maybe I can start with answering,
Sure.
David, and then if you want to add something. So I think, like, first and foremost, you need to make sure that your catalog is well structured, and that it's structured with with great and rich attributes. So not only that you have dresses and that is black, but you also want to have more details around the dresses, and that is that what is the fit? Is it oversized, or is it a pencil type of fit? Is it puff sleeves, long sleeve, v-neck? So all these detailed attributes that describe your products in a more detailed way will also help the AI discovery agent and also the public LLMs to associate your products to what the shoppers will be looking for. Because if you say somebody's searching for, I really want to go to an elegant dress, and this is my body type, can you recommend? Then if you have this type of fit and and styles, then the LLM or the discovery agent can connect what a shopper is asking for with your products more directly. So the first thing is the attribution. Make sure that it's rich and that your catalog is well structured. And this is something, once you have rich attributes, that you can even add them on the website for filters. So you can have conversational, but then you can also have direct filterings on specific attribution details. So it will help you in both ways. The second thing is all the data that is required for the product detail pages, and that is the title, the descriptions, also metadata, something that you put in the back. And currently, what we are recommending our clients is also to start adding FAQ sections. And if we start with the title should be very straightforward. So you need to make sure that you have the category, the color, and a key attribute, something that your shoppers really relate your brand to. And then the descriptions needs to be kind of conversational. The description need to really explain where you can wear it for, what is this product like, so that again all these AI agents can really understand what your product is. And then FAQs in which you will have questions like, is this jacket waterproof? Is this, can I wear this jacket for a hike? Because if somebody then asks a question similar, then the AI can more easily kind of connect your product with what is being asked from the shoppers. And I also mentioned the metadata, and we also make sure that you have rich trendy keywords, attributes that are kind of complementary to your basic category and filters and attribution. And by the meta attribution, I mean things like the trends. I mean things like synonyms, or very more expressive shopper intent like keywords. So something that you maybe not put in the filters or in the links for the website, but you make sure that those are on your PTP page, and both as metadata and used in the descriptions and the FAQs. And then once you have all this data, I think you need to work with your technical teams to make sure that there is a good schema file, JSON file, where all these product pages and product details are well categorized. Because what LLMs and AI discovery agents really want is structured data, that they can easily parse what's on your website, and you need to make sure that that's well structured on your website. So I hope I answered your question. I don't know, David, if you want to add something to that.
No, I think it was very, very clear. And we index all of that. And so the more data you have, the more facets you're going to be able to create automatically, and the more AI infrastructure like Algolia will be able to actually help you do that by suggesting as well, to say, hey, maybe you need to create a little more structure in there. So all of that is really important to optimize not only the discovery, as Svetlana was saying, by the public AI, but internally as well, to optimize your search and discovery experiences on your private digital properties.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, definitely. And maybe what I didn't mention, but also good to ask you as well, David, what we released recently as additional product data is we also started to provide product data per images, not only for the product detail page, but for example, alt text on the images, explaining that on this image there is a model wearing this jacket and jeans, and it's this style. And why we did this is because we know that the public LLMs are also parsing the images, and the better data you have with the images associated as well, the better it will be for the discovery. Is this something that you also parse in Algolia, as you said, like for your own discovery agents, besides the catalog and the product itself, also the images data?
So we can index that. We index everything that the customer wants us to index. And you were talking about FAQs and others. These are things that you can actually put into indices, and they are very important to provide experiences where you blend products and content into something that's even richer. And agents and LLMs will be driven by that information as well to be able to drive the conversation. So it is extremely important to be able to index that as well. Absolutely.
Yeah, great. Okay, so and we talked about a lot about discovery and the data. Maybe we can now start slowly wrapping up, and I really want to hear your perspective on what trends do you think will shape e-commerce product discovery in the coming years?
Yeah. Yeah. No. There are three major that I see and try to follow a little bit. And the first time is a multimodal discovery, meaning that you will use text, image, voice, whatever you want, or you can, to actually search what you want, and you may do that um, in different places or through different media. You may start on the website, continue on WhatsApp, and then go somewhere else. uh, Still interacting with the brand, but in different ways, right? It's I'm starting on my phone because I'm in the train, and then I'm walking outside, so I want to talk to it and continue that. And so the discovery platforms will understand all three and be able to move forward with these things, right?
Yeah,
Then we talked about the agent, the retrieval powered agent, right? We believe that they will replace the search bar with shopping experiences that are fully conversational, and they understand the shopper's intent. They personalize, but they also understand the catalog of the brand and their business objectives. And as we said multiple times during our conversation, this is what people are going to experience in the public AI space. So they want to do the same with the brand. And the brands that don't get to there may lose a little bit of attractiveness. That said, we don't know yet which one is the most important. Everybody today is really focused on how do I get discoverable on the public AI, and that's absolutely what they need to do. They also need to keep an eye on what experience do I offer on the through retrieval powered agents on their websites, because what comes next is agent to agent commerce, and that's really something exciting to me. And the example is I'm using an agent and I'm saying, can you buy me the trousers like the ones I bought in June, but this time in brown, fall colors of some sort. So you will give full agency to your agent to go and interact with brand agents and do things on your behalf. In fashion, it will be buy garments or things like that, right? But you will have that moment where you don't have to worry about it anymore. You will have an agent that knows you, and it could be provided by anybody, but and say, and will go converse with other agents and execute on your behalf. But in order to do that, there's still work to be done on the retrieval piece. We've pretty much done on this and really releasing things. But there's a memory infrastructure that we're putting in place as well to be able to do this. And the memory is one of the things that ChatGPT tells you is like, I don't have any memory, so I don't remember what we did. So you have conversations that you can take and carry on, but you can't start a new conversation and say, hey, remember the conversation we had last week? I'd like to do that again. They say, no, I don't. I don't know who you are really. I'm going to start from scratch every time. the brand opportunity is to be able to have that memory and to say, hey, I know my shopper, I know my customer, and I can talk to my customer anytime. And that memory infrastructure is something that is being put in place, and we're working on it. We're very excited about that, to be able to have these experiences and these assistants, AI assistants that are going to be really useful to them.
Yeah, yeah, I couldn't agree more, David. And I also truly believe you said like these AI assistants or personalized shopping agents will start appearing, and I think we all have our own personal agent or a shopping assistant, and then as you said, the agents will start communicating with agents. From your perspective and your technology knowledge, do you think that it's in that case very important for brands to also have agentic discovery on their website, so that let's say when there's a personalized agent saying and a shopper saying I really want to buy the blue jeans for a photo shoot with the family, and please provide me the best option, is it better actually for the brand to have an agent so that this agent can directly communicate with and give direct answers, or is it just that these personalized agents will go and crawl the website and so on? What do you think is better?
That's a good question. I don't know exactly what is better, but I think that you will need to have agents that are available on Agent Catalog to allow for
Yeah,
others to interact with your brand, right? So it will be a brand agent. It doesn't mean that it's an agent that you and I will interact with,
yeah,
but it will be ve- it will be a series of specialized agents that
yeah,
are really going to execute specific task or specific set of tasks, or be able to give agency to it, to get at the very beginning I was saying that the agent knows what success is, and so they will have to execute to get to success. uh, Brands will have to have agents on their own for sure. um, is it better? It depends on what exactly you want to execute. If you want to be available for personalized private agents to buy, I think having an agent is better than just allowing agents to crawl your site and make decisions, because you don't fully control
yeah,
what the publications are crawling. And we
yeah,
see that more and more with collaborations with the public AI, where they really want to be able to open up data in a better way than just crawling websites.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, indeed. And I would just only assume that it would be better, right? Because then when you have an agent and there's a question coming from a shopper, and then this agent, it's much quicker to ask another agent who has already indexed all the website, who already has all the data and can very quickly give an answer, than for the agent, which is the personal shopper, to do that themselves. So as you said, specialized agents for different things, and these specialized agents will start communicating to each other. You're part of the partnership team, as you see, like as technical companies start building technology partnership, it will be the agents that will find at some point these good partnerships.
From my perspective, for instance, we have an agentic framework, right? We
Yeah,
we we propose to build agents, but we also work with a lot of e-commerce platforms that are proposing agentic frameworks to their customers.
yeah,
And so we still need to be able to offer our customers the possibility to use that agent,
yeah,
but still use Algolia as a retrieval engine, because they are our customers already, and they want that flexibility. And that's absolutely perfectly fine,
yeah,
because the role of Algolia is really to index data and provide the best answer to a query possible, and guide those experiences, those conversational experiences, with the understanding of the intent of the shopper, but also of the goals of the business we represent.
yeah, yeah. This sounds so very exciting and really the future. And it's not only the future, I think it's already here. It's just
It is.
a matter, I think it's here. Just the adoption is just a bit slower than the technology. The technology is there. So now I think in the next year, we'll see slowly the adoption of these technologies. So for all the brands and retailers that are listening now and will tune in also later for the recording, what would you say that they need to do to prepare for this next stage of conversational, adaptive, agentic discovery?
So there's one thing that I think is important, other than data, and we'll come back to that, of course, but is to adopt a composable mindset, right? You don't have to replatform to do this. You don't have to, it's not what it is. And particularly if you already have an architecture that's composed and composable. I assume that everybody understands what it is, but composable is the idea that you can use best of breed elements and plug them with one another in order to deliver the experience that you want to deliver, right? And Algolia is a composable best of breed component, as Pixyle is, and so you have to have this logic of I can add, plug and plug, and make sure that I have the best tool for what I need to execute, right?
Yeah.
So once you have that environment, and you've started to work on your data and to understand, etc. We would really recommend people to treat AI like an intern. So start, clear task, small gain, go step by step, and try to experiment. It's today fairly straightforward to experiment. You can do small. You can use a sub brand. You can use a website somewhere. You can use an app, and so you want really to start thinking about those agentic experiments through pilot, making sure that you try. I mean, this is really the best way to do that. That's why we've released that agentic framework pretty early and give it access to our customers. And some of them have already looked into it and found ways to put it in production even before. Sometimes we're surprised, like give them access to it through a conversation, and 3 weeks later they're like, oh yeah, we've put that in production somewhere and it's really great, it works, and it's excellent. So don't be afraid to test, don't be afraid to go. I was recently at a gathering of the Mac Alliance, which is an alliance of composable uh, minded people, I would say. And we had a few practitioners, so customers of ours, come in and speak, and all of them were saying the same thing. One, data is foundational. You have to clean your data. And two, 2026 is going to be the year of experimentation. We are going to put things out there that are going to blow the mind of our customers because it's so cool, but they are going to be experiments, and then we're going to scale into full-blown agentic and AI infrastructure.
Yeah, yeah, that's I completely agree. And let's say for those that are smaller brands, or maybe you're working in a large corporate where you need budget approvals, and you first want to start small. What are the first steps in order to start small with this process of moving towards conversational AI?
I think it comes back to what I just said. It's really small steps. You can, uh, you know, clean your data. I'm going to say that again. Right? Make sure your catalog, your attributes are accurate. They're written in the shopper's language, as you described very well. Make sure that the components you have in place can actually deliver some small scale, very pragmatic experimentation of a conversational experience. Enable, if you have Algolia, make sure that you can enable semantic search, that you test our agentic studio if you want to. If you're using another agentic infrastructure, make sure you get in touch with us to understand how you can leverage our MCP server. MCP is a communication protocol that allows for agents to talk to Algolia without really understanding completely arcane of our APIs or our connection points, but just in a language that is
Yeah.
um, more easier to understand for the agents. And it's not a moonshot anymore. It's really
Yeah.
something that you can internally go, and the last thing I'll say, because it's something that is amazing about search and discovery, the way we work in, is this is something that is the easiest to demonstrate to a CEO.
Yeah.
You know, the changing the experience that any CEO or leaders or whoever you need to approve the next step can see. If you say, look, yesterday you had to type keyword in the search bar, today there's a conversation and we can see that the
Mm.
is converting. This is really easy to show. So even if it's a small bitty use case, like the one I explained, hey, it'll help you ship something to the post office. It will have an impact because it's easily demonstrable. So
Yeah.
find the use case and go for it.
Yeah, that's a great advice. Well, now I would really like to wrap up and say thanks a lot, David, for joining us. This has been such an insightful conversation, and I think we've given everyone a lot to think about, especially around how data and AI work together to make discovery more human and intuitive. And for everyone listening, if this topic resonates with you and you like to explore how to make your own product data more AI ready, I love to chat. Or if you want to start as experimenting, as David said, feel free to just send us a LinkedIn message, and both me and David will be very happy to answer and guide you through this change and transformation that is happening. Uh, Again, thank you all for spending this time with us. We hope you are living inspired and ready to take the next step from keywords to conversations. And I'll see you at our AI and e-commerce talk session sometimes next year. We'll keep you posted. And have a good day, everyone. Thanks, David, again.
Thank you, Svetlana. Pleasure.
Bye.
Bye.